Well, friends always I really did need 2 more hours this morning.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
how
may
I
do
feel
it.
about every day.
Well, I
Almost.
woke up a little bit before 3, and I thought, I know I should get up because I have a lot to do before I go to the store, but I couldn't do it.
That's
So
too early.
I don't know what time it was, I went back to sleep, but then the dog woke us up at 7:20. He said, get your lazy fannies out of I cannot remember the last time I slept until 7:20.
That's a good thing, though, because that means your body needed it.
It needed more than that. Well, let's not talk about what the body might need because it's a whole lot. But good morning. I'm so
Good
happy
morning.
to be
We're back together. Yay.
Yay! Aaron and I did an okay job
You did a
last week.
great
We did an
job.
okay job. We laugh and we just crack ourselves up, that B+ team. We're striving for an A.
You guys did so good.
we're
I watched
striving.
it from vacation.
Yeah, out there on
great.
that beach in Mexico.
Oh, we had
I gotta
so
see
much
your
fun.
pictures
Oh,
today.
yeah, we had
I'm so
family
excited.
pictures.
Oh my
It was
goodness,
amazing.
the one that you sent to us with all of them laying on the beach with the water behind them and her beautiful family. Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
fun.
That was an amazing
It was
picture.
fun.
So
You know,
it was a
I've
good
got a
one.
senior, and so it's our last
Yep.
spring break. And not that, we won't vacation together in the future, but it feels like the
This is the
end
end
of
of the
this,
chapter.
of my little family, all the way that it is right now. We've been this way for almost 9 years with the 5 of us.
Everyone, yes.
And it just feels like things might
They
change.
will change
So
a little bit.
I don't know, and it'll be okay. And I'm
It
excited
will.
for it. I'm not
Good.
sad.
No.
It just feels like we should take the advantages
Absolutely.
when we can, right?
Absolutely, because those
So-
opportunities never come back
I know.
around again.
I know, and that's with the family pictures. They were not cheap, but I thought I am never going to regret this, and I bought all the images because I couldn't decide.
Oh, good for
and
you.
I thought, there's no way. How would I narrow these down? So anyway, I'm never going to regret it.
No,
but
you are not.
But hopefully
That's
soon
that's
one
a
day
real
I'll
keepsake.
regret the price tag.
No, don't do that either. For Christmas, Jared and Tegan, Jared has a niece that does amazing photograph. I mean, she's really, really good. And Jared arranged for her to come and take a
That's nice.
family photo of the whole big clan. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And they sent some of the images not that long ago. They sent, oh my goodness, there's some.
They're
But
amazing.
Tegan said to me, now, Mom, we can do some chopping.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she says, let me know if you like your face better on one, and we can put it on a different one. I said, okay, how about you put my face on your body?
There you go.
So I don't know if she'll do that for me or not, but she should. She sure should. I just tell you, these kiddos.
If I
these kids are
Photoshop
fun.
any, my son and my husband have some funny faces in some of
Oh.
them, and so we could move some stuff around. But it's
no,
fun, so.
those are the
They
are the best
they're good
ones.
memories, and there's a
Yeah.
couple of pictures, and you'll see them. That it's just my son, like that's just his personality.
just our
That's
Ren.
just my husband. It's just, and you could I can hear what they're saying. It just takes you right back. So
see, I
that's
love
how you know
that.
you got good pictures.
Great
But good morning,
memories.
Marianne from
Good
Florida.
morning,
How are
sweet
you?
Marianne from Florida.
Are you
How
having
you
good
this-
weather?
Do you know that it was 40? What Stan tell me? 41 this morning when we got up? Of course, we didn't get up until noon, but
It's already 50, and it's supposed
is
to
it
make
50
it.
now?
It's only supposed to make it to 59 today.
that's
But yesterday was 71 when I was driving home from Layton.
It
So
was lovely.
it was a beautiful day.
Was.
I
And
am
the day
loving this time
before
of
was
year.
nice. Saturday, Kendall came up in the morning and we sat outside. I got a little bit of sun.
Did you?
Look, my farmer's tan. I got my farmer's tan already. We sat out in the sun, and then Brooke came up in the afternoon. I sat out there and just stitched on second and Saturday stuff. It was such a beautiful day
Good.
outside. I love springtime.
Yeah,
Springtime
me
is
too.
very fun.
I love spring and fall.
Spring and
I
fall, those are
love
my favorites.
being out of school in the summer, and I love a good
like to be
snowstorm.
hot.
I like it all.
Yeah,
I like
do.
all
I
the
like
seasons.
the 4 seasons. Somebody said, "Ooh, I'd like to move someplace where it's just 75 all year long." I would get so bored with that. I didn't do well with that. I need the seasons. I love to see at the end of winter when it's all gray and ugly, the green and the little flowers popping back up. I love
Yeah, we got a
seasons.
few allergies going on at our house, so we know things are waking back up.
Yeah, I know. I don't have allergies, but I think I might now.
I think that they're getting worse as I get a little bit older. So,
because I've just been blowing my nose, and it's just clear. There's no, I mean, I'm not sick.
Yeah.
I
It
just
really
have
is
a
just a
runny
little
nose.
bit of something.
Sometimes I'm standing at my ironing board and my nose tries to drip. I have to stuff a tissue up my nose when I'm working, I
that
guess.
works.
It
Mary
does.
Ann says it's a little cloudy, but not too humid. It's a little cloudy here today,
A
too.
little bit. In fact, a little bit of sprinkles passed through during
Yeah,
the night.
I
The sun
smelled it
was a
when I came
Did you?
out this morning.
A little
so
bit.
I miss
a little
the
bit.
seasons. Yeah, Mary Ann, I don't know. It's good for me. And going on vacation, the older I get, I love to travel. I love to plan trips. I love to go travel, but I love coming home just as much. And I was so excited to do laundry. We got all of our laundry done.
I don't know
just
that I've
stuff
ever
is
heard
so
anybody
wet.
say they were excited to do laundry.
I was like, let's get this
her
stuff.
done.
Because it was wet. Nothing dried in Mexico. It was just so humid. And so, anyway, I was excited to get that done. I was excited to know the food I was going to eat. I was excited to get a good Diet Coke. Because Mexico
They don't have good Diet Coke?
No, they
really?
don't. And I think part of it's the humidity. I think it messes with the carbonation. And because I have had that problem in Hawaii, too.
Oh, okay.
And so, anyway.
Good to know.
I don't know. Utah's. I'm just happy to be home.
We're happy.
So.
We're happy she's home. We missed her. We missed her. Yeah.
And just, you had been sick and
Yep.
something
Oh,
else
my
happened.
gosh.
Oh, you had to go.
Snow.
We had
no,
snow.
we had
That's right.
snow 1 week. Then I got sick the next week. That was the weirdest stuff.
Yeah.
So weird.
There has been a lot of sick
weird.
going around. So let's be done with that.
We're done. I'm done. I
done
don't
with
have
that.
any more time for that. I didn't have the whole week that it took me out. So I really literally lost a week. And at this time, I can't lose a week. Because, Shop Hop.
Shop Hop's coming up.
Oh, my gosh.
Have we figured
barely
out how
2
many
weeks.
days?
16? 17?
Yeah. Because, right, the 25th? That's not that many.
There's our cute
Hi,
Ethan going by again.
We love Ethan.
We sure do. Well, we have something exciting to
We
share.
do.
You might learn a thing or two today, right?
I hope so.
Uh-huh.
I hope
It's
we've
demo
got
day.
something we
Demo
can
day.
show you.
So we thought that we would talk about rulers
Mm-hmm.
today because, there are so many rulers out there. Oh my gosh, I have a pretty extensive ruler collection.
I do too.
And I will say most of them, I really use them. And here's something that I have found doing Second Saturday with my people. Sometimes we buy a ruler, we use it, and then we put it in a drawer and we forget we have it. So what we're really do in Second Saturday is we use those rulers over and over and over again. And there are some amazing rulers that just help you with just everyday stuff, like the Ultimate Flying Geese ruler
That's such a
by
good one.
Creative Grids. Oh my gosh, I use that ruler so much. The Squared ruler by Studio 180 is another one of our very favorites. I mean, I have a lot of favorite specialty rulers because here's the thing with specialty rulers. These people that are designing these, especially if it's coming from Creative Grid Studio 180, there's a lot. That Studio 181, that Deb Tucker she is
amazing.
a genius. Oh my
She is
gosh,
amazing.
she's. I have had the privilege of meeting her at several quilt markets, and she really is a very brilliant person. But their rulers, their instructions are beyond amazing.
And
Beyond.
you increase accuracy, which is always what I'm going to pick. I'm always going to pick something that increases my accuracy and time. I mean, if I could do something quicker and more accurate, then I'm going to do that. Now, we have lots of rulers, you and I.
We do.
But there are thousands more that we don't have.
We don't have all of them.
And
I have room for all of them.
yeah,
Oh,
you
my
don't.
goodness.
And you don't need to go buy a ruler for absolutely everything. But these things that we're talking about, flying geese, half square triangles, squared, they're common units that you have in a lot of your quilts. Now, you may need to or may want to revamp how you're doing the pattern. Do it a slightly different method.
Always.
So that you can use that ruler. And that's something to think about ahead of time.
So sometimes if you're getting a kit, like we love, I'm going to throw just this one. Okay, how about the Flying Geese, the Ultimate Flying Geese ruler. Okay, so we like the two square
method.
no waste method for doing that. But you initially need a little larger piece of fabric, because if you're doing it the traditional way, it's a rectangle and two squares that are popped on it, right?
And we've discussed that a billion times.
I hate that.
We know.
I chop my points off. I try to do a good job.
No, me neither. I can't.
So always before I sit down, in fact, this is something we're going to do at class line. Before I sit down to start a pattern, if it's not my own, and sometimes even if it is my own, because I go a little crazy, I will read through that whole pattern. And I will circle the things that say, okay, now I'm doing a Flying Geese unit and it is this size. I'm not doing that. I am not cutting out rectangles and squares. So I will go through my whole pattern before I ever begin anything and see.
Before you cut out?
Before you cut out. Before I do anything, read through that pattern first and read the words. And then I'll be like, oh, but I have a ruler for that. I am going to pull out my specialty ruler and I'm going to use it once again.
Yes.
I mean, you pay a lot of money. You pay a lot of money for everything nowadays. But specialty rulers are pricey. And if it's something that you've bought and you've only used it once, my challenge to you is get that ruler out. Look at it, see what it can do, find yourself something that you can use that for, and use your rulers. I was noticing the other day on my squared ruler, which I didn't bring today, one of my marks are already coming off. I've used it so much.
Oh.
I need to remark it.
Because rulers are a longer lasting tool, but they're not a forever tool because they get dropped. You might nick it with your rotary blade.
Oh, and I have a trick for you for that.
Oh, what?
Do you want to know what it is?
Don't drop it.
Well, probably that's good advice, Miss Liz. No, so, all right. I don't have a rotary cutter over here with me, but imagine that I do, okay? So here is here's my fabric that I want to cut, right? Now, I'm going to start cutting down here.
Right.
Okay, I'm very right-handed. So if I come down here and I start off the end here, I may nick my ruler. My friend Amy showed us this amazing trick. So if you're starting on the edge of a ruler, start up in here. Bring your rotary cutter here, bring it down, and then back up.
That's a very good tip.
That's a really good tip.
Because that'll save your blade too.
It does. It saves your blade. And I do have a few rulers with a couple of nicks on their side.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I kind of do.
I mean, in the best of worlds, and I have wood floor in my sewing room. I don't have carpet. And so if I drop something, it's usually pretty good, but the corners could come off.
Sometimes the corners could come off.
And corners do make a difference. You need a nice square ruler most of the time. And so,
well, that's
so if you take
good
care
advice.
of them. But there are some really specialty things that you may only use for one quilt, and then you've got to decide, is this worth it? Like, for example, let's talk about these block lock. These block lock rulers are some of my very favorite.
They're amazing.
And they're expensive, and the price has increased pretty drastically recently. Now, this Flying Geese ruler, the other problem / good thing is it only does one size, okay? But if I have a quilt that has 820
3,000.
I am gonna buy a ruler like this. First of all, I have it forever. I can use it for lots of other things. But if I'm doing something that many times, even if I'm doing something 50 times, I mean, if I'm doing something 4 times, I'm not gonna go buy a ruler for that.
Okay, let's talk about this. So here's the cool thing about this Flying Geese ruler. So here's what you do. You put this ruler up, you lock it into place, and you can cut around all 4 sides. You don't have to move it. You don't have to do anything at all. You cut all 4 sides, you're done. Where with some of the other rulers, you're cutting 2 sides, then you got to rotate everything, cut the other 2. So you're saving half your time is saved by using one of those
and I
amazing.
think I I only have a couple sizes of these. And
If you
I
need
use
any
these
others,
a lot.
let me know. I'll loan you mine.
But
Yes,
but if
me
I'm
too.
doing something else, I usually just use my Ultimate Flying Geese. I mean, I have other tools. I have other ways. Or if I'm doing something that's not this size, I might even have to use a regular ruler and do some markings on that, which I have definitely done too.
Right,
But
you can.
these standard sizes, you know, if
Yeah.
you are in a collection mode of, you know, let's say Shop Hop, and you're like, oh, I think I'm going to buy a new Flying Geese ruler during
Flying
Shop
Geese
Hop
ruler.
or something. You know, you're going into a lot of places.
And if you're doing that, I would suggest that you do a standard size. Like, don't do one of their, like, I have some amazing ones that were Joe Morton ones. They're like 1 5/8 by 3. I mean, those sizes, you're not.
Yeah,
gonna
these
use
ones
as
are
often.
very standard.
So what do you have here? Is
So
this
that's a
2
2 by 4 finish.
and a 1 1/2 by 3.
Yep, 1.5 by 3 finish.
Yes, those
So-
are amazing ones to
So
start
these ones
with.
are good. Now I have a little 2.5 inch.
Oh, love it.
Now 2.5 inch is such a standard size that we use all the time. Now, if I was only going to purchase one half square block lock ruler, I would probably purchase this bigger one because this one does everything from a 4.5 all the way down. I could do a 2.5 inch ruler with this
Yes.
very, very easily.
Yes.
And so if I was only going to purchase one, I would purchase
Yes,
a little bit bigger one.
definitely.
Now, I have used this one a lot because
yeah.
a 2.5 inch size.
You want to know what happened to my 2.5 inch size?
What?
Well, it doesn't have a very good corner anymore.
Doesn't. See, I told you corners are important.
Whoops! I need a new
So
one.
these ones I use all the time. I keep really handy. That's the other thing is store them in a way that you could grab them
Yes.
easily or you know right where they are. You know, I definitely have specialty rulers stuck down in.
drawers.
In
I do
fact,
too.
Marianne mentioned that she loves the Perfect slotted rulers. I have those, but I've not gotten in the habit of using them. They're half square triangle rulers.
Oh, okay.
And you trim them up before you press them. So you trim them
Okay.
up. And then
I
they've got
have
a
seen.
slot so that you can cut off your dog ears.
Off your dog ears.
And they're really nice. And I've got them, but I'm not in the habit of using them.
So on storing your rulers, I have a couple of ruler racks on the back of my sewing table where I put all my ones that I'm going to use over,
Yeah.
you know, like all my standard rulers, you know, my different sizes. Those are right there. My specialty rulers, I have
don't you have like a drawer set?
yeah, I'm trying to remember.
plastic drawer?
Yeah, it's art bin. I
Okay.
couldn't think of my word. Art bin, and it's like a cabinet. Actually, there are 2 cabinets, and then it's got the little individual little drawer. They're not drawers. They're the little project boxes. And I even used my cute little label maker. I mean, I try to be organized with 1 or 2 things. And so, like, all my block locks are in one drawer. All of my, well, not all my Studio 180 and all my Creative Grids, they each have about 2 or 3 drawers,
Yeah.
2 or 3 boxes. But have them so that they're easy to get to. Because if you have to go rummaging and searching and looking, chances are you're not going to pull those out and use them while you're sitting there. So have them be easy to get to.
Yeah. And a lot of rulers have a little hole in them as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will hang them on hooks or pegboards or whatever. I've seen people who have gotten the shoe organizers and put them on the back of a door, and you can hold a lot of different rulers
Different
in there.
rulers right in there. Yes.
There's a lot of different ways. I have one of those. I think the smaller drawers are Alex's from IKEA, but
yes.
it's a longer one, and my drawer is just full of rulers, and I think they mostly all fit in there.
Donna has one that she puts all hers in, but it's so heavy that every time she tries to pull it out, it falls out and falls on her feet.
Okay, Donna, you need to
Donna,
figure it out.
you might need a different. Yeah, you might need a different.
And the
one,
last
so.
ruler I brought was just this one. This
This is a great one.
How big
4.5
is
by
this?
8.5.
4.5 by 8.5. Now, one thing about me is I don't like using a big ruler
For
bigger than
smaller
what I need.
things.
I just don't. And so I will, as I'm cutting out, I am constantly grabbing and putting away rulers because I want just big enough for what I have. The other thing is that, I don't know, works in my brain. And let's say a lot of different rulers are made different ways, and not all rulers work in my brain.
Right.
And so you just got to figure out which ruler works best for you. And just because what works for your friend or what works for Fran and I doesn't work for you. It's not a problem.
No.
It's just the way that it is. And I don't know, some rulers I'm going, okay, what am I looking at? And where's the half-inch mark? And
some
what
of
am I
them have
cutting?
a lot,
and
a lot on them.
yeah. So anyway, those are the rulers. So
Nice.
this one I think is actually fairly new. I think I've only had this maybe a year, 2 years. And it has very quickly become one of my favorites. It's
that's
just
a
a
really good
perfect
size.
size, and it's small, and I can grab it. I can throw it in my bag if I need to go to a class or if I'm going to a retreat. So this is probably one of my very favorite. Now,
Nice.
if I'm using my 6.5 by 24, I'm using that for yardage only. That's
yes.
it. I am not
Yeah,
using
no.
that to do anything else. So
Because it's so big and bulky, and you're trying to cut out a 2.5-inch square. Then what are you doing with all this other 22 inches that you got left there? Yeah.
now you
Yeah.
can.
You
absolutely.
you absolutely
And I
can.
know some people who only have a couple of rulers, and they love it, and that works
that's
well
okay.
for them.
Mhm.
But
I
for
need
my
all of
brain,
them. I need all of them.
and I've slowly collected them too. I haven't
Oh,
gone out
yeah.
and bought everything in one day.
So a good rule of thumb to do on that is if you're doing a new quilt and there's a ruler in there that you may be using over and over again in that particular quilt, now's a great time
Yes.
to go buy a new ruler. But you can make do with the ones that you have. I mean, you don't have to have a ruler for every single project that you're doing.
Now, if you do want to square up a 12.5-inch block, you do need something larger than a 12.5. You can't do a 6.5-inch ruler. Now, we have our mats and there are markings on mats, but I always prioritize a ruler over my mat lines.
I never use my mat lines.
I do for yardage.
Do you?
Well, yeah, if I'm cutting.
Oh, if you're just cutting strips and
Yeah.
things, yeah.
If I'm cutting, my
If you
border
need a 12
or whatever.
yeah, if you need a
right?
12
then I
inch
do
cut.
my
Yes,
that's
I
for
agree.
yardage. But if I'm doing little tiny things, I do not use my mat lines. And your mats will relax over time, and your lines will get inaccurate.
Or they disappear.
Yes, they can disappear.
Or they get grooves in where you kind of don't want the grooves to be. So yeah, so I typically do not use my mat for measurements.
Yes.
Okay, well I just brought a couple of I brought just a couple of standard ones because now I have I think all the size. Well, no, I don't have a 5.5-inch one, but
they
that's
make
okay.
one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
This 6.5-inch Creative Goods ruler, I use this one quite a lot. And if you needed like a smaller square up ruler, this one does everything from a 1/2 inch all the way up to a 6.5 inch. So if you're just kind of adding to your collection, this is a great one to
good
start
standard
with.
one, absolutely.
So what I tell people when they ask me what size do I need, I would say do a 6.5 and a 12.5 because
Yep.
the 12.5, there's not a lot of blocks that you're going to be doing. Well, there might be. Aaron had some bigger blocks last week that we showed, but the 12.5-inch ruler is
a good standard
is
size.
a really good size. So, oh, and while we're talking Creative Grids, let's talk about this
Yes.
grippy that's on the back of our Creative Grids rulers. This is only one of the reasons I love them. They have these grippies on the back along the edges, and they have little grippy dots throughout the ruler. When you're cutting, that helps hold that ruler onto your fabric, so your ruler's not sliding around all over the place. But Miss Liz brought something amazing to share today.
So this is, and it's clear, kind of clear. It's on white paper.
No, if you
It
can
is,
see the grit.
what did I call it?
Surfboard. No, skateboard. Skateboard. Surf. She
brain.
just went surfing in the ocean, so
My
maybe.
brain's not quite back from vacation. It's skateboard grip, and it's really sticky on one side, and it's like sandpapery, and
But
it's super grippy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could. Yes, you totally can.
You can see those little strips.
I just take little tiny strips. I cut it with my paper scissors because it's going to dull whatever you cut.
Do not
Get
use
your
big
worst
scissors.
possible scissors out.
Nope.
And you can just cut little things. You can be strategic about where you place them, so you're not covering up lines that you really
don't
need
cover
to
your
see.
lines.
But it really does make a huge difference. And I bought a roll of this just on Amazon 8 years ago, probably, and I still have quite a large roll because I'm using strips.
Using little teeny tiny piece.
This
Tiny,
size.
tiny
And so
pieces.
I don't have them on my Creative Grids
You don't
rulers
need them on
because I
those.
don't need them. But specialty rulers, and I really don't need this on Block Lock. I think I put this on 8 years ago. Because it doesn't move around as much.
It's
with
harder
that
to
little
slide
groove.
it. And that's the cool thing about a Block Lock, the half square triangle ones. You don't have to pick your ruler up and move it around. You slide it to do that. I think we've shown that before.
So that's actually a really economical thing to do. They do make this grippy spray, which we love too.
We love our grippy spray. Can you see that my ruler looks
Yeah,
cloudy?
I think I can see
yeah,
that.
you can see that. So with some of the specialty rulers, they're pretty slickery, especially like this. Well, because this is our. You see back behind us, you can see that big Barnstar quilt that we painted.
Yes.
That sign. So the Lemoyne Star it's kind of our mascot quilt block at the store, and I mean, I have used this ruler so much, I'm surprised there's anything even left on this ruler to even see. But it is quite slickery, and it's a bigger ruler. So let's say I'm making a 3-inch block. I'm only going to have this little teeny tiny piece down there. So I need something to kind of hold on up there. So a little bit of grippy spray on the back of that. Take it outside so you're not in the house huffing
Yes.
this. Because it's kind of smelly. Take it outside, give it a very light spray. You don't have to spray it real heavily. Give it a light spray, then take it, lay it on your fabric.
Makes a huge
is it not
difference.
moving around now? Great, I've got enough. If it's still moving a little bit, give it another little zap.
And you're spraying the back.
You're spraying the back, yeah, because if you spray the front, it's not going to do anything. Well, it might help your hand not slip around, but it's not going to keep it on your fabric. So we love the grippy spray. So
And this will last for several uses, but it
Oh,
doesn't
gosh,
last
I-
forever. So you might
will
need to
rub off.
reapply after a while. So
now I want to just talk for a second about, because we are talking about
oh, it ripped?
my directions kind of came apart because they've been used so much. So much. But here's a cool thing about Studio 180 and what that Miss Deb Tucker does. All of her directions you can download on an 8.5 by 11-inch
That's
sheet of paper.
great.
So what I do with my rulers, I have them in a page protector, the ruler with their instructions right there with them. So then I don't have to search through that little bin trying to find all my important parts.
And Creative Grids does as well. They have their instructions on their website as well.
Yes,
So
and
check those out.
great video tutorials.
Oh,
For their
wonderful.
rulers. Both Creative Grids and Studio 180, they will walk you step by step on how to use all of their specialty
So
rulers.
if you have a ruler that you can't remember what it does or how it does it or whatever, or you've lost the instructions,
Yeah.
do a quick little Google search, because my guess is you could find a YouTube video, you could find something that would show you how to use it.
How
So
to use them. So while we're talking about Studio 180, sometimes when you're making little units that have all of these little fun pieces, like an hourglass one, this is a perfect one to show this. So when I want to trim this up, I want to make sure that all 4 of my triangles stay the same size.
right, and you want your point in the middle.
You do, because if I just slap on a ruler and say, okay, I'm just going to trim that. This looks great. I'm just going to trim it right there.
It might be the right size,
It might be.
but it won't be symmetrical.
Nope. And then when I go to sew it into whatever it's going in, I may have chopped off one of these points and I may end up with a great. So Studio 180 has this amazing little ruler called a Tucker trimmer. I don't know if you can see this. See, Tucker trimmer. Okay, so what this little ruler does, it's got all these 45-degree angles.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
So we're going to trim this one up to a 2.5 inch. So I'm going to use this side of the ruler that has my half markings. This one are for whole numbers. This is for halves. So what I would do, I would lay my ruler over my, wait, hold on, please. Please the hold here for just 1 second while I get this lined up for you, okay? So I would lay that ruler up there with my center right in the center mark. And I'm sorry, I know that's not,
It's
it
difficult
didn't
to see.
stay. There we go. A little bit better. A little bit better. Right there. So you can see how I now have that X going right through the center of my block. Now I can trim 2 sides, rotate it around, and trim the other 2 sides. And I've kept all 4 of my triangle pieces the exact same size. So I love that little Tucker trim. She has a larger one too. She has a 13-inch one, I think it is. And so this is a great ruler for when you're trying to, yes, a really
because we square up a lot of things.
We do square up a lot of things. So, okay.
Yes.
Cannot live without my magic wand. And now let me see if this is one of my original ones. Nope, this is Studio 180. So years ago, Laurie went on a little trip. She used to work for the Red Cross, and she went on a trip to Texas, and she brought us home these amazing little rulers. And then the lady sold them. She stopped making them, and we did a little panic. So I was at Quilt Market one year. I come around the corner to the Studio 180 booth. They're set. My magic wand.
The magic wand.
I got so excited, I started jumping up and down and squealing like a little piggy, and I ran over and I gave the guy a hug, and he's backing away like, oh, Lord, this woman's lost it. I said, do you know what you have there? And he said, well, we've just bought the rights to this ruler, so we're pretty excited about it. And I said, oh, as you should be. Let me tell you what I use this ruler for. Everything.
Yes.
And he's like, okay. I should have kept track over the years how many hundreds of these rulers I have bought.
Oh.
Hundreds and hundreds, and not for the store. I only have 3 at my house. 1 in my to-go bag, 1 by my cutting, and 1 by my sewing. I only have 3 at my own house. Yeah. But this little ruler here is used if I'm making half square triangles, flying geese, quarter square triangles, anything that I need to draw those lines on with. I'm going to use this ruler because there is a line right down the center of
line.
this.
I think they can see that.
I think they can too. And on each side of that is an exact quarter of an inch.
Yep.
So if I'm doing a half square triangle, I'm gonna lay that laser line right corner to corner right on my block. So I would lay it just like so, and I would draw my line on both sides.
Yep.
Those are my stitching lines.
Yeah, and I will say that's, I think, my only ruler that I don't cut with.
No, I don't.
It's too tiny.
I chop off the tips of my fingers.
It's a nice straight edge, but yeah, I like my fingers.
Just use this for marking.
It's a tool, but it is a ruler.
It is a ruler. It's a great one.
Yeah.
Another one that I use a ton, this is an add-a-quarter ruler.
Yep.
So anytime I am paper piecing, this and my cute birthday card that Miss Lane gave me, I'm gonna use those every single time, because this, you butt it up next to your paper, and that gives you your perfect quarter-inch seam allowance.
I've tried a couple of different ways of doing paper piecing, and this is my very, very favorite.
This is my very most favorite. Okay, can we talk about this one?
I love this ruler too. And when she brought it in, I thought, why didn't I think of this one to bring for my house? But I'm glad she brought it.
And I only brought my little mini one today because I had 3 bags, my lunch bag, and my bag with my second Saturday boards in it. I didn't have enough hands to carry a large Stripology ruler, but I have the extra large Stripology ruler.
Me too.
And I got to tell you, while I was working on my blocks for this month, that thing sat right there on my table. Yep. I can't tell you, I love it. So what this ruler is, it has these little slots in between. So you can cut on an inch or a half inch. I haven't figured out yet this quarter inch on the opposite side. I got to figure that one out. I haven't used this because I don't really cut out quarters very often. Very rarely do I ever cut anything at a quarter, but I'm going to play around with that end as well. But so what you do, you lay your fabric underneath here. You just do a little skinny cut on the first, right here at the 0, you just cut that. So now I've got a good clean edge. And then let's say I want to cut at 1 inch intervals. I'm going to put my rotary cutter here. I'm going to go right in that groove. Here's the cool thing about the Stripology ones. I know there are others that are out there that do this. This groove is very tiny.
It is.
Your blade does not wibble wobble around in there it just follows right along in that edge. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And just choop, 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 choop that quick and you're done.
And I don't know if Creative Grids was the first one to come out with something like this.
No, they were not.
But they have the best version on the market.
It's a
big difference.
I had another one, and because the groove was bigger. And same thing with the Magic Wand. There's another one of these, or maybe more, but it actually has an opening in the center that you're supposed to draw a line on.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why you need 3 lines, but again, that line is thick in there. So depending on what you're using to mark with it, you could be off. And when you're making tiny things and you've got to be really accurate, you can't, even a hair makes a huge difference in those points.
It does. But this is cool. This is fairly new, right? Maybe in the last year, 2 years?
Maybe a couple. She's had it for a
It's a Stripology companion book. And
2023.
Yeah, just a couple of years. And it is a fabulous thing. I have it sitting right on my cutting table because I do use my Stripology rulers all the time. And I have it open to a couple pages that I use a lot, but there's a lot of different things that you could do. Oh, this actually brings up a really good point. Marianne just commented. Ken says, I'm tired, I need a nap. I think he's true.
Okay, that's good.
There's QR codes on a lot of rulers that you could just click and find a video. Yeah, there's one on my Creative Grids ruler.
Yes.
So that's a great point, Marianne, to get the videos
to help
or
you.
the instructions or whatever you need. But this is, if you have a Stripology ruler or you want a Stripology ruler, I highly recommend this book.
They're pricey. This ruler is pricey. But the time that it has saved me, like I was making a quilt that had 1.5-inch strips, a million of them. Do you know how quickly I cut those strips out?
Oh, you can cut them so fast and so accurate.
Yes. I slap that fabric on there. Slap my next one.
And this is one, my mom has one. And she forgets to use it all the time. And I'll say, Mom, grab out your Stripology ruler. Oh, okay. And she remembers and she does it. And so, anyway, remember.
That's one of mine that sits up on my table because I use that one so much. And this lovely young woman, I mean, oh my gosh, she shows you how to do flying geese with a Stripology.
I haven't done that.
I have not yet either. There's lots of great things.
There's lots of really cool things.
There's
so this
so
book,
many fun
if you have a Stripology ruler, I really, really do recommend this book.
This is a great book.
And we have them here at the store.
Because it helps you use your ruler with more than just cutting just plain old strips.
Well, and you can make 1/4-inch marks like we were talking about. So if you like to cut your binding at 2 1/4, then there's ways to do that. And it's easy. The book explains it, but there's videos about it. And the Creative Grids instructions that come with the ruler have that as well.
Yes.
So I actually have just that portion of the instructions. I've blown it up and printed it and stuck it right by my cutting table because I use that a lot. Good morning, Jordan. How are you?
Good morning, Jordy.
Ken, is that the one you said? The one I had to buy twice. I'm not sure.
Oops.
Well, I ordered a different brand of this, and they mailed it to me, and it was broken. They mailed it to me, and it was broken. I think the 3rd time I got one that wasn't broken, but it doesn't work as good. It just doesn't work as good. So
I think this young woman, and I hope I don't mutilate her name. I think it's Gudrun, but I might.
Oh, yeah. We're just going to call her the really smart lady.
The real smart lady. You know, I went to Quilt Market one year, and she was there. She had her own little booth, and she had all these beautiful quilts and this ruler, and I walked by, and I said, what is that? She said, has your checker rep not shown you this yet? So when I got home, I said, listen, Checker Bill, why have you not shown me this amazing ruler? Anyway, so she was showing me some things at Quilt Market, and yes, she's brilliant.
It's really cool.
It's such a good ruler. We love that ruler. So, you know, I'm sure that you all have some of your very favorite rulers that you like to use over and over and over again. And we just brought a couple of ours that are our favorites. There's some like the Studio 180 squared ruler. I use that one constantly because you're tons. The Creative Grids Cat's Cradle unit, I use a ton. Studio 180 has a V block ruler. I mean, there are just so many great rulers that make my life and my accuracy a lot better. Because here's the thing about most of these specialty rulers, they oversize your pieces and then you're trimming them down.
Yeah.
That's another thing that helps you be so precise.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan, she had to go to the hospital to get a chest x-ray.
Oh,
and
Jordy.
an EKG, I think. I hope you're going to be okay.
Oh, I hope you're okay,
Come
sweetheart.
say hi to us and let us know if you're okay.
Oh,
So-
and hi, Ken. We hope you do get a nice nap today. It might be a nap day for all of us. I don't
so,
even
too.
know. I don't even know.
Now, no matter the best ruler in the world, if you don't pay attention, you know, it's that adage of measure twice, cut once. So I have a rule in my sewing room, and I broke it the other night.
What's your rule and what happened?
I can't cut after 10 o'clock at night.
I can't talk and be on the phone.
Yeah, I know I can't either. And I don't like to cut at like retreats or classes or something. I want to have everything cut ahead of time because I get distracted.
Easily.
But yeah, so I need some more fabric.
Okay, I can help. I got fabric.
Because and as soon as I made a mistake, and then I made another one, and I looked at the clock, and it was like 10:08, and I went,
I'm done.
I broke it.
I'm done.
So-
I gotta go to bed. I can't do this anymore. So one thing about the Creative Grids rulers, you really have to pay attention to which side you're using, because one side is half inch,
inches.
the other's whole. So years and years ago, one of my fabric reps that came in shared this tip, and it's amazing. When you are cutting, so I am very right-handed.
Right.
Okay. So when I'm cutting, if I've got this that says half inch on all of them, all of the rulers, the Creative Grids all have the half inch on one side, which is really handy because
so
a lot
handy.
of times we are cutting half
Yes,
inch
we are.
increments. Okay, but if you're not,
You don't
or
want
if you need the half inch and you cut from the solid side.
Yeah.
So here's what my fabric rep told me. When you're cutting, whichever end is towards you, like if I want whole numbers, I want this side towards me, because again, I am right-handed. So now I know, okay, well, those are my even numbers. If I want half inch, I've got to have the half inch numbers towards me.
Yes.
So
good
before
point.
I start cutting because I've meant to cut 2.5 and I've cut 2.
Yeah. Well, we all have. And
I pay attention.
the problem is when I make a mistake, I never cut it too big.
No!
I always cut it too small.
And why is that? Can I ask why is that? It shouldn't, that's not right.
It's not right. I don't know what it is.
I think it always should be that we made it too big so that we can correct our...
fabric. I know, but it's so funny. It's just, it is the way that it is. But
Oh, do you know what came back to us the other day in the mail?
what?
Our Shop Hop quilt.
Oh, I'm excited.
I know,
haven't
Renee
seen
got the
it.
pictures done and I was
seen it in
trying to
person.
print.
Okay, we'll work on that. Our printer, I don't know. This building's cursed with printers, I think. I think it must be the building.
I think it must be me.
I don't know what
I think
it is.
maybe it's me.
But I had a thought when you were talking about right-handed. Creative Grids does make left-handed rulers.
Yes, they do.
So if you are left-handed,
we're
don't
finally, because there are a lot of amazing left-handed people in our world. And here's the thing that Deb Tucker does, which is really cool. She shows you how to cut right-handed
And left-handed in her
She is
instructions.
right-handed, but she shows you how to do both.
I love it.
So I'm really excited that a lot of our companies are now coming along and saying, we need to make some for our left-handed friends as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we need to talk about Shop Hop.
Oh, Shop Hop. Yeah, oh my
have
god.
been
Oh my
chatting.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. And I'm really excited because our quilt is finished. Thank you, Pat. I didn't even swear at her this year. So our friend Pat from Quilts Etc. Every year for several years now, she said, okay, by this date, we have to have our quilt done and we have to bring it to our Shop Hop meeting. We have to show it completely finished with the pattern done. I may have said a swear to her a time or two in the past for making me do that. But here's the great thing about that. It's done.
It's done.
I mean, it's
and it
done
has
early.
been done.
It's been done. It's
Yes.
been done for a couple months. And that is great because then I can now focus on, okay, what patterns do I need to bring in? What new, it really is nice. So the Shop Hop, and I have to tell you guys, in our last Shop Hop meet, because we did have to all bring our stuff, and everybody brought theirs. I was so proud of everyone. There's some really nice patterns. They're not all quilts. Spoiler alert, most of them are this year though. And there's some really cute ones, you guys. So at each store, so let's talk about the dates. April 25th through May 3rd. Does that sound right?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Oh,
it sounds
good.
very right.
Oh, good.
But I had to check my calendar.
Well, I need to check mine because I think I started the 24th.
I don't think it does start the 24th.
No,
because
that's a Thursday. I think it's Friday. Well, there's a sign up right there on the door too. And you can go to our website. What is the website for that? UtahShopHop.com and get more information. It is. It starts the 25th. Thursday. No, it's Friday. It starts Friday, the 25th, and goes through the following Saturday. May 3rd.
Yep.
Okay, we are closed on Sunday though, because everybody needs a half a minute of rest. And are you doing 9 to 5? Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all time. I gotta go find you a blonde wig.
Yes, you
I
do.
gotta get on it.
Yeah, you only have a few days.
I know.
No, Ken actually sent me this joke.
Oh.
What happened to Joe when he went on the Dolly Parton diet?
Uh-oh.
Do you know?
No.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Oh, can I love it? That is so good. I love it. So we are Dolly Parton this year.
Yeah, but we're not open 9 to 5.
No, we are. No, it's 10 to 6.
It's 10 to 6.
But we're all going to be. We probably would have to show up at 9 just to get all ready.
Yeah, we will.
So we need to change it. Working 9 to 7.
Yeah, 9 to 7.
By the time we get all done, wrapped up, and get home, it might be 7 o'clock. But it is so much fun, you guys. It's a big darn party. There are 10. I believe it's 10 shops this year. Let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 shops this year. We've talked about that a little bit before, and each store is doing a different. It's Ride the Radio Waves. Try saying that one fast.
A tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister, and so each store is doing something different. The Beatles will be there. The Beach Boys, Huey Lewis. I mean, it's going to be so much fun. But we've chose Dolly Parton to be ours, so we will be honoring that amazing woman. You know, Dolly has been around for a very, very, very long time. She's such a great person.
She is a good person.
That
she gives
woman,
back.
she does give back. And coming from such humble beginnings to where she is now, and to be so generous with everything that she does.
If you haven't checked out our book program, go check out our book program. If you have little kids, if you have little grandkids, check it out, because it's a really cool, very just generous program. It's amazing.
Yes,
check it out.
She really is a very, and so when I was trying to think of, okay, who do we want to be, I thought, okay, I need an artist that, you know, not only we older people, speaking about my own self, but some of the younger people know as well. Yeah. And did you know that the song 9 to 5, do you know how many different...
You were saying that last week on
Pitbull! Pitbull! Miss Dolly Parton sang Pitbull. Pitbull, Kelly Clarkson. I mean, so many different artists.
And they've helped her legacy live on.
Yes.
And helped the younger generation really know who she is.
Yes.
I think that's one cool thing about music artists, a lot of music artists in general, especially in the country music field, is they honor their heritage.
Yes.
They honor those who came before them.
Yes.
They honor those great songs and keep them going. I love it. I love it so much.
Me too. And I should have brought over, did you know that there is a Dolly Parton little golden book?
Oh, I saw it over there. We have it at the store.
We have a couple of those at the store. And she and her sister have just collaborated and done a cookbook.
Oh,
it's a neat one.
Cool.
I also have a couple of those here at the store.
Good.
We're doing Dolly. We're doing Dolly.
We're going to have so much fun.
Oh, we're going to have a ball. So at each store, you guys, they're giving away a fat quarter bundle of at least 25 fat quarters. A gift certificate to their store. Isn't it $250? I believe it's $250. Yeah. A gift basket worth, is that $150 or $100?
I think it's
100. It may be $100 value for the gift
Boy, should
basket.
tell us.
And of course a free pattern.
$100 gift.
$100 gift
And a
basket.
free pattern just for walking in the door.
Just for coming in the door. And so remember, at each store that you go to, sign up for the drawings.
Yes.
Okay. You'll want to do it at every store because every single store is giving away all
Doing
of those
their
prizes.
own drawings.
There is another drawing that will be for if you go to the store in Logan, my girlfriend's, and you pick up a ticket there, or you are down south and you pick up a ticket at Cornwagon and you drop it off at the opposite stores. You will also be entered into an
extra drawing
for
hitting north to south.
North to south, and I think that one is a $250. I think that's $250 price as well, and it is in 10 $25 gift certificates. So you can go to use that one at any or all of the stores for that one.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you don't have to use all of those at one store. There is a time limit on your gift certificates, so you do need to use those by the end of, I think it's the end of September. I should have looked at that before I opened my mouth, but I'm pretty sure it's sometime in September. So you have almost 6 months to use those, and a lot of the stores have websites. You could probably use those on the websites as well. So make sure that if you win one of those great prizes, that you do use it.
You do get a chance to use it.
Yeah.
But it's just so much fun. We love it. Working here, I love going with my little group and going to the different stores. It's amazing. So we hope you can join us.
We hope you can join us. Our friends in Ogden, our little friends at Bertha and Beulah's, are not going to be joining us this year. They've got some health things they need to take care of. So, but they'll be back next year. So we wish them the very best. Speedy recovery to both of the ladies, the mother-daughter duo. So we will miss you this year, but we do wish you good health.
Yes,
good health.
We know that they'll be back with us next
They'll be back with us next year. Absolutely. They're such a great
excited.
addition to us. So, gosh, Miss Liz, what else do we have to talk about
Well,
today?
Jordan is having surgery in a couple weeks, so we wish Jordan the best.
Oh, yes, Jordan.
And I hope that things go well, and check in with us and let us know how you're doing.
Yes.
So hopefully
please.
We'll see you Saturday.
Yes,
Because it's second
Jordy.
Saturday, and then we can check in.
I might be ready.
I don't know if I am.
Oh, Lord. It was 10 o'clock last night before I finished my boards. That's why I was running a minute late this morning. I was trying to write the emails up for him. Because poor Liz gets all this stuff dumped on her at the last minute. But her and Liz. Liz and Lisa, I see here, get these cut, get them packaged, be done with this. And poor Liz, but
it's okay. We figure it out. But we are excited for Shop Hop.
Yeah,
we are
so
excited for all the things we've got coming up. We're excited for all of our classes that we're getting scheduled in our new space.
Gosh.
We've got so much
Last Thursday, we had, was it 19 or 16? Oh, I forgot my number.
Oh, 16.
16 at Chit Chat. Finished that. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I walked over here and they're all over here working on all different projects. Just sewing and visiting and having so much fun. This new center of ours is just amazing. We're booking more and more classes.
Yes.
In fact, we had a teacher, Roxy called me last night. She said, hey, we have a teacher that contacted me that would
I saw that.
Write this. She does classes. She designs fabric. She does classes, and she's looking for a place over our way to hold more.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so we keep adding new things over here. So we're
check
really
our website.
excited.
Check our classes. Section because we're constantly adding things, and so you can go check out and see. We do have emails that come out, so if you're not on our email list, you can give us a call and we can get you on our email list for those new classes. But we have that. If you're going to be in Shop Hop, you can come over here and tour this.
Oh,
we do
'cause
have
some stuff
one
will be
day.
over
I
here.
think we have an event going on over here or something. But most of the time, I think you can walk around.
I think Saturday we have our guild meeting here in the morning. I can't remember if this, I think that might be all, but I don't know. But we're going to have stuff going on because we're going to have a contest over here.
Yes, we are. It's going to be exciting. We're going to show all the things.
All the things. All the things.
I was going to look really quick. Yeah, I don't think we have many things going on.
No. Just Shop Hop. Just fun and games.
Yeah.
Well,
Chit Chats. Whoa, that was wrong. Oh, yeah, that was wrong. I clicked on the wrong
Yeah,
date.
I was going to say Chit Chat should be after Shop Hop is done. So Chit Chat is always the first Thursday of the month.
Yes.
And it's just
open
$10 to come. It's open sew 10 to 5. And it's a lovely group of ladies that come and do this. And they bring little snacks, set them up on the tables, everybody shares, and then they usually break, and sometimes they walk down to aisle and have lunch, or they go somewhere else and have a little, or they bring their own lunches. And it's just a great way to connect with your quilting community. We have one lady that came this time that's been quite ill, and she's kind of had to stay in her house for quite a while, and she's finally feeling better. And she came in and we were talking one day, and she said, I really need to, get back into doing this. I need to, I've been just kind of sitting in my house, and that's not a good thing for us sometimes.
No.
I said, listen, you need to come to Chit Chat, finish that, you work on whatever you want to work on, and you just sit there and visit with friends. It's good. And she did. Good. And she came over afterwards and she said, Fran, thank you so much. I had such a great time with those. But you know what she did? She left a great big bag of Boom Chicka Pop.
Oh.
That is not Weight Watchers approved. But it was very sweet of her. It was very, very sweet. So, yeah, lots going on over here. We are almost finished with all of the renovations. We have a little bit of stuff left. We still have to paint outside and back. But for Shop Hop, we're going to have that whole back end to open up, so we'll have more parking back there. The back door to this one probably will not be unlocked. Yeah. You probably have to come in over at the village next door. No, we're the village next door. At the village. This is the village next door. So they're both next door. Anyway, we're pretty excited about it.
It's gonna be great.
Fun. And all of the new samples, you've got to make a tour through the store and look at the
I do, because I haven't been here in a couple weeks.
I know, and you wait until you see all the new, oh my goodness, we've got so many new ones that have come in and are still coming in, so we're pretty excited about that. So we hope you'll all join us for Shop Hop and a big fun party. Grab your gal pals or your guy pals and come on down. Come on over, y'all.
And even if you can't go to all the other stores, just come to ours.
Just come see us. Because we always party. We always have a great time.
We always have fun, and our quilt is amazing, so you want our free pattern. And it's just a great party. It's a fun time.
So before Lynn went on his mission, gosh, I mean, probably even a year ago, Lynn and I started talking about what we wanted to do for it, and it really fits our theme. We're pretty excited, and it's doable. It's a very doable quilt, so we're excited for everyone to get to see that. Yes. So let's see. Oh, Jordy, I know you did. I saw that, sweetheart. I'm excited for you to come and sit and stitch with Sim and Carolyn again this year. That will be
You'll
really
be all
good.
healed up by then. It'll
yes,
be perfect.
you will. Yes,
It'll
you will,
perfect.
girl. So, yeah. So
okay, that's it.
That's it.
We've
it's
chatted
a wrap.
for a long time today.
Well, we had to do.
We have so much to say, and we haven't been
do.
together.
I know. See what happens when we miss each other. So much to talk about. So,
thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you all have a great week. Get some fun sewing done, or maybe go outside and play.
Enjoy the sunshine too.
Enjoy the sunshine too. So enjoy it. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another, and we'll see you right back here again next week.
Next week we'll be here.
Yep. Bye, guys. Bye.